So Anima, can we launch the first poll, please?
It is launched.
Okay, great. I couldn't see it for some reason. Technology always kind of gets to me after a point. So I think we are going to start now. People will keep on joining in, and I hope everyone can be a part of the conversation. So welcome everyone once again to Bold is Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry?
I said thank you.
Oh yes, Nina, of course. I couldn't see who was talking. Good to have you here. A few things before we move ahead. We will be from our end muting everyone other than the speakers for the time that the conversation is on, and then of course we are going to have a small breakout session where you all will get a chance to open your videos, unmute yourself, and share your views. And when we come back, we'll have an open Q&A session. So till then, please know that we might be muting you as well. You can always keep your videos on if you want to. This is one of the last events in the Anti-Street Harassment Week, which we have been campaigning and working on for the last one whole week. And from Red Dot Foundation, Cat's Call of New York, Stop Street Harassment, we would like to thank all our partners, all our organization partners who have contributed and who have participated in all the events. It's been a mind-blowing participation across 7 days. And everyone is, I think, kind of reaching that stage where they're saying, okay, what is this last event going to bring to us? And we are hoping that this is going to be fun. It's going to be, in a way, very engaging, where you all can come in and talk about things which you probably don't get time to talk about otherwise. And we would like to definitely thank Marva, who is our integral partner in this event, and without whom it wouldn't have been possible to put this together. So thank you, Marva, for that. Before I move forward, I would just like to check with my team. Has the poll, have we got everyone who has?
Yes, we have, but there are still some people joining in, so we can keep it on for a little while.
Okay, all right, great, we'll do that. So moving forward, let me introduce to you a very, very brilliant and young panel of speakers that we have with us. We have artists, we have students, we have activists, and it is amazing to see how the youth has so much clarity about what they are doing and what they want to do going forward for themselves, for their communities, and for the country. So with that, let me invite Lochna, Arpan, Rajiv, Rohit, and Shams. Could you all please put on your videos and unmute yourself? It is great if I say a lot of things about you, but you know, all of them have such a beautiful way of describing who they are and what they are doing. I think I would like to invite them to introduce themselves to you. So Arpan, why don't you go ahead first?
So, hello everyone. My name is Arpan Bayan and I am from Guwahati. And I'm currently studying in Cotton University and I'm in my 4th semester of my undergraduation. And I'm doing my undergraduation in history. And history is something which I have always loved as a subject, and it is because of that I never had to face this academic pressure of taking my subject or anything. And apart from that, my interest would include ancient Indian history. I have always been fascinated by gender studies, gender history, even queer history. I have always been anything which is related to the society has something which have always made me intrigued and always made me question, actually. So it is because of that. And then after that, MAVA happened, and I guess in a way MAVA allowed me to mold my aims, goals, objectives in life and it has given it a very concrete shape, I believe. And apart from that, apart from my academics, I'm fond of cooking. I doodle at times, and I consider myself to be an avid food connoisseur because I love knowing about the cuisines of different cultures and their life ways. And this is something which have incited my zeal to travel, actually. And yes, I have traveled quite many places also. So yeah, that's basically about me. Thank you.
Thank you, Arpan. I know, very interesting to know all of them. So we will have a chance to talk to all of them in your breakout rooms as well. Lochna, why don't you go next?
Great. Hello, everybody. Am I audible? Just checking once. Great. Okay, so hello everybody. Good evening. I am Lochna, and I like to introduce myself as a change maker. I'm a feminist. I'm a change maker. I am an artist at heart, particularly a theater artist, and I love each and every aspect of theater. While growing up, because I had certain experiences and interactions with people, I realized that I have this inclination towards gender, and I want to explore more about it. So after my graduation in science, I finally realized that it is something I don't want to do. So I am here now. I'm into social sector, exploring gender and sexuality, working with youth, adolescents, and having conversations with them and helping them understand what it is. Having conversations about gender and sexuality, getting to know their perceptions around it. Currently, I'm also pursuing a diploma in women development and empowerment. So it's great finally studying it, and it's just right now I'm feeling a little nervous, but more excited about this panel, and I'm just happy that we are going to just have this great conversation together. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Lochna. And Lochna, going forward, just keep the mic closer to you. We couldn't hear you in bits in the middle. Rajiv, why don't you go next?
Sure, thank you. So, hi everyone. I am Rajiv. Right now, I am doing my master's from TISS Mumbai in Women's Studies. And regarding the question of gender, so I identify as queer. And back in Delhi, around the year 2018, I started exploring my sexuality. And that's also the time when I joined Women's Development Cell. And I think me joining Women's Development Cell as a member has has been a formative experience for my life because it has given me a perspective that has been missing or that we carry on unconsciously, like the perspective of patriarchy. And yeah, so I also cook as well. I like cooking. And then I also write sometimes poetry. And I am interested in the intersection of gender studies, queer experiences, and pop culture. And yeah, definitely, like, thank you to Safe City NGO, like, which is the second event with them I'm attending. And yeah, the first event I attended with them was actually in Women's Development Cell back in Delhi. So that's awesome as well. And yeah, that's about me. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv. It just excites me when I hear more and more men saying that they are great cooks. I think calls for an offline meeting at some point. Shams, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, hi, my name is Shams Alam, and I am an international para swimmer. And this is very small, my introduction, and I can say that I know Elsa Mary, and she gave me this opportunity to speak with and I'm like, I feel very much humbled or honored to be associated with Safe City and with this Confidence is Beautiful campaign. This actually made me my mind blowing, and I'm like more and more trying to be in touch and work towards this kind of cause. So let's I'm so excited about this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Shams. Shams is very humble and modest, and he doesn't say much about himself, but Elsa has put a whole Wikipedia conversation on him. So please go and check him out, and you'll get to know him more as we move forward. Rohit. Thank you, Shams. We are so excited to have you here. Rohit, why don't you go next?
Hello, everyone. Oh my God. My name is Rohit Thapa, and I will be talking in Hindi and English mix because I'm very much comfortable in Hindi. So basically, मैं अभी थिएटर आर्टिस्ट बनने के एक जर्नी पर हूँ, and I want to be a theater artist, and I do lot of street plays. One thing that really impulses me to act, that to express my opinions, and that is the journey of mine from after my college gets over. From Jhunjhunwala College, I did chemistry. So after that, I really wanted to know what is my opinion. I get really easily influenced by the people, but what is about myself? मेरी वहाँ पे भूमिका क्या है? तो वो ढूंढने के चक्कर में मैं थिएटर तक आ गया, और स्ट्रीट प्ले एक जरिया था जहाँ पे मैं अपने खुल के अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस कर पाता था, सड़कों पे नाचता था, गाता था, ढोल बजाता था. तो एक काफी बढ़िया अच्छा लगता था. लेकिन अभी फिलहाल पेंडेमिक में तो ऐसा पॉसिबल कुछ नहीं है. सो So yeah, और कहीं पिछले 6-7 महीनों से I am doing this drama school Mumbai course and I am being in the medium of Zoom. So yeah, exploring this medium also is really great thing. Like we can sit over a long distance and have a conversation in our comfort zone and have like conversation various across the world. So yeah, and I'm a little bit nervous and really excited also to have conversation and बाकी detail आपको मेरे मिल सकते हैं because I don't remember about a lot, so you can.
So रोहित भी एक मतलब वो जिस तरह बात करते हैं अपने बारे में, कई बार लगता है पता नहीं 50-60 साल के हैं कि मैं कभी ये करता था, कभी मैंने ये किया. But that's the beauty, right, of every and each one of you who is the future of this country. It is so beautiful to speak to you and to hear from you what you think, what your views are, and how you are making your own journey through this world. So थैंक यू रोहित. एंड रोहित आगे जाके काफी कुछ शेयर करेंगे आप सबसे. एंड मुझे बहुत मजा आया. मैंने 5 मिनट की उनके साथ कॉन्वर्सेशन की अर्लियर टुडे. एंड I'm sure all of you are going to find it very, very exciting to talk to him and understand where he comes from. So thank you, Rohit. All right, so the poll has ended. So it says 47% are excited, 31% are curious, 25% are happy, a few people are tired. That's okay. COVID is doing that to everyone. घर बैठ के और कुछ हो नहीं रहा है, थक रहे हैं हम लोग. Little over 50% are first timers, so that's great. Welcome, and I hope you all will come back again and again for all our events. This is a community we need to build together. A lot of them, I think almost 70-80% of them are Mava supporters. So thank you once again, Mava, for being here and bringing this event together with us. So before we move forward, you know, street harassment is something that we all have seen around us. Some of us have faced it, me including. So we would like to show you a small little film that we made for Safe City, which describes to you what we do at Safe City and why do we do that. So I will not say more than this. I would like you to watch the film before we start the conversation. So I would request Jyoti or Kajal, one of you would please play the video. Could you make it full screen, please? Thank you, Kajal. Thank you for that. You can stop sharing. All right. So I know that's a little strong film to see. It's so I made this film for us for Safe City a couple of years back. All the events that you saw in this film are real events, are true events across India, which were collected over a period of 2 years. Um, we have tried to bring it closest to where it happened and how it happened. Now, why I wanted all of you to see this film is, मैं क्यों चाहती थी आप सब ये film देखो before we start the conversation is, because the problem is कि street harassment is where it starts. And when we don't report the smallest of crimes of sexual harassment or street harassment, the perpetrator keeps on getting emboldened. And फिर वो ऐसे स्टेज पे पहुंच जाता है कि वो किसी का रेप भी कर सकता है, right? So which is why I wanted you to see this film so we could start this conversation. So let's talk about street harassment. And I want to ask all of you, all our speakers, this question. For you, what is street harassment? You can all unmute yourself. If you could tell me what is street harassment for you? आप में से किसी ने कभी ये फेस किया है या आपने देखा है किसी को फेस करते हुए? And how have you reacted to it? So, Lochna, why don't we start with you?
So right now I just want to share firstly, am I audible? Just checking. Okay. First of all, the film that we watched together right now, it was really triggering for me, because I have experienced all of this at certain points of my life and in many different places. So it was really triggering for me, and I'm really struggling to speak now. It's difficult for me to speak. So sexual harassment is not just someone touching you in an inappropriate way, in anything that is making you uncomfortable. Okay, anything. It might be a gaze, does not necessarily be a touch. Someone is touching you. It can be, sorry.
Lochna, I wanted to ask if you want to take a moment, we can come back to you. If you just want to take a moment and
If that is fine, I would really, yeah, maybe some other panelist can speak and then I can continue.
So
Thanks.
we start with Shams, maybe if Shams would like to speak. Lochna, you take your time, okay? We'll come in the end to you.
Thank you.
Hi, Supreet. I think I know Elsa and the work she's doing is amazing. Saw the video, which actually made me to cry. And literally I was like, I can't express the emotions which I am going through. But yes, we have to be strong and we have to face this. You were asking me like what it means to me, like being in Mumbai most of the time. We know like the people around us is sometimes like being a school or college boy or being a athlete. I generally never saw like someone is facing such kind of issues in my presence. But yes, when I got a chance to visit my village, which is Rathos village in Madhubani district of Bihar, and I saw there like, first of all, women and girls are not getting chance to go for higher educations. For schooling also, they have to visit, they have to travel from one place to another place. So like I saw few people, few girls, they are traveling on bicycle from one village to another village to get their tuitions and classes. And just for a walk in the evening, I went on my wheelchair on a highway road, and I saw like few people, like village people. You will generally see that they are going outside and generally they are sitting at one place by making a group of people and this kind of thing. So there was like some people, they are sitting, and in which like it includes all kind of age people, like some are children, some are like 18 to 20, or some are above 45 plus. But then the experience was very horrible because I saw few boys are commenting. It's like it was very, very general, like kind of comment, like how people see a girl. It's a very common type of things. What happened, like when we saw some girl and we passed some comment, but that was a comment, some kind of comment, and I saw like everybody was sitting there. Nobody is like even bother to talk on this and ask that voice gain that why are you doing like this. And then like that time I was also not able to ask or do something. But then they, as you know, like I mean, like people, first of all, they think about me that I'm a disabled person, and then very few people know that I am a disabled person with various kind of abilities, and I have done so many things. So few people visited to come to me, and few news channel people come to cover my story. And the same boys came and they were there, and then I was talking about, and then I said, like I've seen these kind of thing that the girls are getting harassed and they are traveling from one place to another. And then the mindset was, I can see those people, those boys' mind, and then their face is going down, and then they are coming after that program, and then they were saying, so sorry that we will not do this kind of thing. So this is like, I know I'm having a physical disability, I cannot go and fight with anybody, but I'm just trying myself, I'm just trying through my words to change the mentality of people. And I'm sure like now, I don't know whether it is stopped or not fully, but that day I tried my best to make some kind of impact on few people. And I'm sure, suppose like we as a change maker, we believe that if we can bring a change in at least one person also, that's the biggest thing we are doing. So this is one kind of incident which I wanted to share with you guys. Thanks.
You're on mute.
I'm sorry about that. So I was saying, yes, Shams, it's true. I mean, आप physically जाके कुछ वहाँ पे नहीं कर पा रहे थे, लेकिन आपने, I think, in your capacity of your strength, your influencing power, आपने जो भी किया, that is something I think each one of us can do, which is why this conversation is important, right? So, Rajiv, what do you think? What is street harassment for you? आपने कभी face किया है या देखा है कभी?
I would say like any unwelcome act or any act that is uncalled for in a public space, which makes me uncomfortable or which makes someone around me uncomfortable, would count as street harassment. And it's almost always is sexual harassment only. And so regarding how I faced, like when I was in Delhi, when I was studying in Delhi, so I always had this idea that I can go for a walk at any time, I can travel through the metro, and there won't be any issue. And one day I was traveling with my roommate to a place. So I was traveling from one station to another. And while traveling with my roommate, there was a man sitting in front of us, like opposite to us, and he was staring at us. But then the station came and the man went off and my roommate went away. And I was waiting for some other person. So I waited for around 20-25 minutes. And then the next train came. And I went in the train with my partner, who also came at that time. And then the same man sat directly opposite to us. And the coach was empty at that time. So I just thought how it can be a coincidence that I waited for 20 minutes and the same person waited for 20 minutes when I was not even aware that someone is waiting. But then I let go of the thought that, okay, he might not be waiting for me. But then that man started staring at us and he started touching his crotch, and that made me really uncomfortable, so much so that I was not able to speak anything. And then I just typed in my phone and showed to my partner that man is staring at us. And like we both did not know what to do. And then the station came and like we all just went our ways, like we did not confront or anything. And I could not talk about it for a long time. I could only share it through Instagram when someone shared their story. But I think the consequences have been with me still today, because the idea that I can freely move into a space was gone. The idea that, okay, like society perceives me as a man, so I am at least safe, that was gone. Like recently, 1 week ago only, I was having a cold drink with my friend at a bus stop. My friend identifies as female, and where we were sitting, a group of men, very masculine men, like I think they were coming from gym, they came and sat next to us, and I became so uncomfortable. And it was broad daylight. It was, I think, 2 p.m. And I became so uncomfortable. And I just asked my friend to move away. And I only became comfortable when another man came and joined us, like a friend of ours joined us. So that is how, like, the uncomfortability, the notion of or the discomfort impacts us, because it just stays on. You kind of just realizes ki, okay, like if that happened that day, then it can happen any other time. It can happen at any place. So yeah, that has been my experience with street harassment.
Thank you, Ryan. It's true that, it's not only the women who face street harassment. A lot of us face it in whatever capacity we are there in the public spaces. So, Arpan, what do you think? And guys, feel free to speak in Hindi or English, whatever you're comfortable with. हम दोनों language में बात कर सकते हैं.
So, okay. So for me, I guess I have never faced any instance of street harassment as such, nor I have seen, or I have been the bystander and I have seen in front of me. I have never seen that also. Maybe it's an outcome of my male privilege. Sometimes I feel like that also, that I have never been in such a situation. But women very close to me, like one is my mother, one is my very close friend, they have shared their experiences. And when I hear about their experiences, I kind of realize that this is something women face almost on a daily basis, while traveling or in any public space. And this is something which kind of, what is more important is that it leaves a sort of a mental trauma in them, which kind of over the years becomes a prolonged source of, I would say, internal strife in their own minds actually. So over the years, it might come up, this moment, the experience, its memory might come up at any moment, and they might, feel uncomfortable thinking of the same. So that is more, actually, I feel, it's more chronic in nature, the mental health, the way the mental health is kind of hampered by this. This is something which I feel is because, so telling about my mother only, because she played basketball when she was young. And in basketball, they had to wear the short pants, right? So she used to go to the stadium like that. And what happened is that whenever they used to go, there is a group of men who will always be waiting, who will whistle. And back in those times, back in 20, 30 years back, in those days, my mom never knew that if it was street harassment or anything. She just knew that the boys would be whistling at her, and that made her feel really uncomfortable, And the concern was that, she will either go with some of her friends to the stadium, or she will take her cycle and just move swiftly, past that, so that she never had to face those men actually. So that is something, and that trauma was still there, throughout her growing up years, that, there is someone who will be, whistling or something, Now, at that point of time, the term was used was eve teasing, but I feel that these were actually instances of sexual harassment, street harassment only. Now, when I talk to my mom regarding all these issues, then she kind of realizes that, maybe these are the things only which we face, but we never spoke about it actually. And in fact, they could never speak it to their families also, because they will stop them for, you don't need to go if you are facing this thing, right? Because families used to be very protective back then. And the point is that even the laws were not that stringent probably, or the police force, the law enforcement agencies were not probably that friendly at that moment, that she could have openly filed a complaint against those men. So these are some of the problems that she faced, 20, 30 years back. And speaking of something very recent, it is one of my very close friends. So she travels by this. We used to take the city bus in our city. So we have those things. And she travels by that. So recently what happened is that there was this man sitting in front of her, and he was gazing at her. He was staring at her, and she kind of knew that it was a very unusual stare that she was receiving from that end. She did not know if it was a sort of harassment or anything, but she felt really uncomfortable. Okay. And she felt really helpless also because the man was not approaching her or anything. So in case he approached her, she would have screamed that day. But since the man did not approach, she did not know how to react to that situation. She was just there sitting. And things got even worse when he actually laid his hands on his crotch. That's when she got triggered. She felt horrified. She was mortified after that. When she was narrating the event, she herself cried that day, So that was the thing. And the worst part is that she ended up questioning herself. Was it her fault that she wore that short pant that day? That her legs were visible that day? Was it her fault? Or was it her fault that she did not retaliate at that moment instantly? So she was faced by such questions in her mind, and she remained in that state of mind for quite many days, actually. So that is the impact, of sexual harassment, I feel. And it in a way hampers the confidence and the opportunities that they get in their lives, because the next time she is into drama, so she has the rehearsals at night. So next time she has such an opportunity coming up, the first concern that will come to her mind is that, will it be safe for me to come back from my rehearsal at night? Or if it is not, then how will I come back? So she may not take that decision to participate in that particular drama. So these are the kind of instances I feel, So what I feel is that this is very mentally toiling, first of all, and in a way, no one should go through such experiences, I feel, anyone of any gender, I feel. It's very mentally toiling.
Yeah, thanks, Arpan. I can understand how that works because I have faced sexual harassment in my life, but every time I see this film that I have made, it gives me goosebumps. Even today when I was watching it, it was like Lochna said, it was triggering her to memories. It still affects me. It affects a lot of us who have gone through such incidents in our life. Rohit, आप बोलेंगे आपके लिए street harassment क्या है?
फिलहाल अभी जब मैं सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस को सुन रहा था, ये सुनकर ही इतना अनकंफर्टेबल था मेरे लिए। तो जिनके साथ हुआ होगा इस तरीके का वाकया, उनके लिए कितना मुश्किल हुआ होगा, इस चीज के बारे में सोच रहा था। मैं हर एक मतलब ये ग्रुप के साथ भी रहा हूँ जो इस तरीके का काम करता है, स्ट्रीट हरासमेंट करता है, प्रोवोक करता है। मैं एक साइड पे वहां भी रहा हूँ जहाँ पे आप किसी एक महिला के साथ है और तभी ऐसे कुछ कारणों के साथ आपके साथ ऐसे स्ट्रीट हरासमेंट होता है, और कभी ना कभी ये मेरे साथ भी हुआ है। तो मैं अभी जब इसको देखने की कोशिश करता हूँ, तो मैंने रिसेंटली अपनी एक दोस्त से मैंने बात की थी, जब ये सेमिनार के बारे में जब बात कर रहे थे, तो मैंने उससे जब बात की थी तो उसने मुझे कुछ इंसिडेंट्स बताए थे उसकी लाइफ में जो फिलहाल हो रहे हैं। तो उसने इंसिडेंट मुझे बताया कि जब भी वो घर से बाहर जाती थी तो एक उसके मोहल्ले के सामने ही ग्रुप ऑफ बॉयज बैठते थे और वो उसका नाम पुकारते थे, देखते थे उसे। और जब भी वो उस रास्ते से कॉलेज जाती थी तो आवाजें करते थे, तो उस वजह से उसने रास्ता बदल दिया। कभी कभी मार्केट में जब वो जाती थी तो उसके पीछे कोई एक आदमी चलता था और जब वो ज्यादा फिजिकल होने की कोशिश करता तब वो आवाज उठाती थी। नहीं तो उसने मुझे कहा कि जब अगर लोग सिर्फ देख रहे हैं या फिर बोल रहे हैं तो ज्यादा वो रिस्पॉन्स करने की कोशिश नहीं करती है, बिकॉज वो हर बार एक सीन नहीं क्रिएट करना चाहती, बिकॉज बट शी इज ऑल्सो वेरी मच कि वो बोलती है इसके खिलाफ जो भी ऐसा होता है। तो फिर मैं सोचने लग गया कि मतलब ये इतना नॉर्मलाइज हो चुका है एक लेवल पे कि जब आपको सिर्फ कोई बोल रहा है फिर घूर रहा है तो आप उसको सही में ये हरासमेंट नहीं समझते। आप उसको समझते कि ये रोज का यार, अभी तो रोज उतरेगा, कब तक ऐसे मुंह लगते रहेंगे, आप निकल जाते हैं। और जब मैं और ये सेम चीज मैं देखता था जब जो बॉयज के साथ में था, और जब वो इस तरीके का देखते थे और कमेंट करते थे, उनके लिए बहुत कूल था, मतलब कि इस तरीके से एक्ट करना, कि मतलब ऐसे लड़कियों को छेड़ना, इट्स वेरी कूल। वो देखते ही आइटम जा रही है, ऐसे ऐसे बोलना, इट्स रियली कूल एंड अट्रैक्टिव, और अट्रैक्शन का उनको कोई ऐसे फील था। बट जैसे कि अर्पण ने कहा कि राजीव ने कहा कि वो तुमको एहसास नहीं हो सकता कि जब इस तरीके का वाकया जिस इंसान के साथ होता है उसको किस तरीके का क्या महसूस होता है। कि जब मैं उससे बात कर रहा था मेरी दोस्त से, तो मुझे समझ में आया कि वो अपना रास्ता बदल रही है, वो कोई और रूट लेके जा रही है, जो जिस रास्ते से आसानी से जा रही थी वो दूसरे रूट लेके जा रही है। और उसको वो मूवमेंट क्या होता है जब आपको कंटिन्यूअसली कोई स्टेयर कर रहा है, आपको कोई देख रहा है कितने समय से इस तरीके से, वो कितना अनकंफर्टेबल कर देता है इंसान को। लाइक उसने एक समय के बाद अपना पढ़ाई जो था वो कॉलेज जाना बंद कर दी थी बिकॉज ऑफ दिस इंसिडेंट, और वो अपने घर में नहीं बताती है बिकॉज उसके पापा उसका बाहर आना जाना बंद कर देंगे। सो मतलब कितना बड़ा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में वो है कि वो किसी से जाके बात शेयर भी नहीं कर सकते, जो अपना इंसान है उसको बता नहीं सकते, वो अंदर कब तक रखेंगे। मतलब वो इंसान वो सोच सोच के एकदम फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाता होगा। और ये मेरे लिए इतना डिस्टर्बिंग था कि जब मैं सोचता हूँ कि अगर ये ऐसा वाक्य अगर मेरे साथ हुआ होता, अगर मैं होता तो मैं तो पागल हो गया होता। ये बहुत ही ज्यादा ट्रॉमेटाइजिंग था मेरे लिए। और फिर मैंने सोचा कि इसके बारे में तो मैं उससे बात करता था। हाँ, तो यही था। और एक बार जब मैं गार्डन में गया था अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ, तो वहाँ पे 8-9 लड़के थे। तो वहां पर एंड आई वाज लाइक इन 10th standard एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, तो बहुत बड़ा भी नहीं था। तो वहां पे 9-10 लड़के थे और मेरी फ्रेंड थी और हमारे 2 दोस्त थे। तो वहां पर हमारे ऊपर वो मेरी फीमेल फ्रेंड की इतनी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी आ गई थी हमारे ऊपर कि और फिर जब ये वाकया हुआ, वो लड़के हमारे पीछे कंटिन्यूअसली आ रहे थे, जा रहे थे, कमेंट कर रहे थे, बोल रहे थे कुछ ना कुछ। और जब मैंने ऐसे ये वाक्य अगर किसी मेरे बड़े को बताया, तो वो कहने लगे कि तुम लड़कियों को बाहर लेके क्यों जाते हो अपने साथ, क्यों जाते हो, मत जाया करो, तुम लड़के जाया करो, सिर्फ ऐसे क्यों करते हो तुम लोग, अगर कुछ हो गया तो किसकी जिम्मेदारी है। तो ऐसे सब सवाल मतलब मेरे को फिर बाद में मतलब सोचने मजबूर कर देते थे कि हमारा इन्वायरमेंट सही में मतलब ऐसे लड़कियों के साथ बाहर जाना, घूमना, ये एक तरीके से सही है क्या, मतलब ये एडवाइजेबल भी है क्या। सो इट्स रियली डिफिकल्ट। मतलब अगर थोड़ा इसको सिचुएशन की कॉन्टेक्स्ट में समझे तो ये बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है कि एज अ बॉय मतलब आपको एक तरीके से बिहेव करना पड़ता है कि यू हैव टू प्रोटेक्ट अ वुमन इन दैट सेंस, कि आपको एक प्रोटेक्शन वाला वो बैरियर लेके चलना पड़ता है। अगर वो आपके पास नहीं है तो पीपल चार की मतलब कैसा लड़का है, तो ऐसे लड़की लड़की लेके आया तो थोड़ा दिमाग में ध्यान में रख, है ना। मतलब ऐसे मजे करो तुम लोग, ऐसे कुछ भी मस्ती करो गार्डन वगैरह में, लोग देखते हैं 10 तो क्या सोचेंगे। तो एक तरीके से उस फ्री ऐसे स्पेसेस में हम फ्रीली एक्सप्रेस भी नहीं कर सकते खुद को। हम वो एक तरीके का जो जो मूवमेंट पे हम गए, फन जो चाहते हैं वो जगह पे हम एक्सप्रेस भी नहीं कर सकते। और हमको बहुत सोचना पड़ता है जब भी हम अपनी फीमेल फ्रेंड्स के साथ कोई बाहर गार्डन में आते, कौन से स्पेस में जाए, कौन सी ऐसी जगह पे जाए कि जहाँ पे ऐसे जैसे राजीव ने कहा कि वो लड़के आ गए थे, वो अनकंफर्टेबल कर दिया था। तो हमको भी सोचना पड़ता है कि कहाँ ऐसी जगह है जहाँ पे हमको इस तरीके का वाक्य ना हो, कम से कम चांसेस हो। सो इट्स रियली डिफिकल्ट टू गो विद आवर फीमेल फ्रेंड्स समटाइम। या
Thank you so much. Lochna, it's okay. I can come back to you later. That's fine if you would like to speak later, or if you would like to go next.
No, I can share now. I'm fine now. I'm feeling better. Okay. So I wouldn't say anything different else than what Arpan shared or Rohit or Shams or Rajesh shared. मेरा कोई अलग understanding नहीं है. Whatever they shared, my understanding is also very similar. That is what is sexual harassment. Any kind of discomfort caused to you by any person, okay? It's sexual harassment. Any kind of violation of consent, and as I was saying this earlier, it does not have to be a touch from a particular person necessarily. वो touch होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. अगर वो तुम्हारी तरफ देख भी रहा है, which is making you uncomfortable, it should still count as sexual harassment, okay? And so it after we were like after we watched this whole movie, it was triggering for me because there have been so many incidents with me, with my friends. I have witnessed so many, I have myself experienced so many that it is really triggering. But one experience, if I had to share, I would like to share about one time when I was in college, I was doing theater and we used to finish our rehearsals late. This time is the peak hours, like for Mumbai locals, and it's very crowded. Mumbai is anyways a crowded city, and it's really difficult to get into a train at this time. Okay, and I really tried hard to get into the train, but I couldn't. I wanted to get into the ladies coach. That is what preferable, but I couldn't. So I decided that I'll get into a general coach. And while I was trying to get in, I was touched by someone in a very inappropriate way. And I was in the middle of the crowd. Okay, so I didn't know what to do. There are people all around me. Okay, so I don't know what to do. I stepped back. Okay, and I started shouting or yelling. Okay, and my reflex action was I started shouting, "Ki, who did this?" or "How dare you do that?" And the train just it just left the station. And obviously the person who did it would not come ahead and say, "Oh, it was me." So and after that, when my friends were trying to calm me down, they were trying to make me feel relaxed, or just asking me to, okay, chill. Okay, so there was this uncle who was standing beside us, and he was listening to our conversation, that how all of this is so unsafe for women and girls, and in this situation, how do they're not thinking about women and their safety. That uncle literally came up to us and said, "Ki, if you are bothered because of this, if this is troubling you so much, you should go get yourself a private vehicle and you should travel that way." This was the reaction. And I'm like, this is not really solving the problem. Okay, even though if I get a cab and go home, this is not really solving the problem. Today it was me, some other day it would be some other girl. You're not really solving the problem here. Okay, and you also see the mindset of the bystanders who are witnessing the thing. He could have also reacted in a way where he could say that, okay, let's go to the police station, let's report this, and something like that. But people react in a very different way. They least care about it. I mean, this basic humanity that I'm just looking for, people don't understand that. And it has happened to me. If I have to share honestly, the first time I experienced sexual harassment in public place when I was 12 years old. I was just 12 years old, and I couldn't share this with my parents, because after that they won't take me out for any outing or just anything. They would just ask me to stay back home. Even now, I'm 22 now. Even when I am stepping out for a trip or just going out anywhere, my parents tell me, like, literally, when they say bye, there's one statement that they'll say without fail: "Oh, don't invite trouble, huh? Don't do it on purpose." I'm like, I'm not the person who has to take, I mean, why do I have to just be alert all the time? I mean, like, no, that is the level of unsafe. That's the level that the whole environment is unsafe for women and girls. So yeah, that's my experience with this whole sexual harassment thing. So yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
it from my side.
Thank you, Lochna. It's not easy to share something that's happened with you and takes a lot of courage. So thank you for sharing it with all of us. Um, so, I know Shams, you're fasting today. So I'm going to quickly come and ask you the next question so that you can then leave if you would like to. I know you have to break your fast. So, everyone's spoken about how they have been affected by just this film, by street harassment that they've heard their family or their friends have faced. आपने खुद भी बताया something that you saw and how you tried to make a change in that. And they all have spoken about how it affects people. So how do you think does street harassment mentally affect people? अभी हमें पता है कि सिर्फ लड़कियां नहीं है, लड़के भी फेस करते हैं street harassment. People who are specially abled also face street harassment. So how does it mentally affect them? And do you think they change their daily lives so that they can accommodate street harassment because nobody really helps them in going and reporting or doing something about it? So what do you think about that? How would you?
So, Prit, I think, see, talking about in general, I heard about Rohit, Arpana, and other speaker also. So everybody's stories is really same because the world is round and all the story goes around us, and we know everything is happening with us every single day. What I wanted to share, like when I was before my disability, I used to play karate, and we used to go in a fort called Sayan Fort we have in Dharavi, and we used to practice there. So we have a few girls also in our karate team, and like one day, like we were coming after practice, and then we had a good fight. I mean, fight mean like she was like very. Uh, very enthusiastic, and like if no one can comment her actually. She was like very dashing type of girl, and she did it. And then few other boys also came, and then we did like, it was like a fight between two groups. So we can do it, like, but everybody cannot do this. So everybody cannot do this. So I wanted to encourage people, like especially girls, that if you get a chance, please try to go and learn martial arts or any kind of arts which actually help you to protect yourself. I know this is the era where everybody is having some kind of guns and all those things. Maybe they can do anything, but at some point of time, tricks which you learn at martial arts or different self-defense art, it may help you at some point. So this is my experience. Another, like what I wanted to talk on this platform, I especially wanted to talk now. I have spoken in one of my video on MenXP about women's and people with disability and then sexuality and their problems. But here from the Safe City and Red Dot Foundation point, I just wanted to convey one message. And especially Elsa, I wanted to take you note that whenever next time you are organizing such kind of event, please include women with disability and children with disability also. Like, first of all, like men, maybe sometime we can talk, like Rohit and Arpan can talk, but then comes few men also that they cannot even speak about their sexual problem and the harassment they are going through. Then if we're talking especially about women that with disability, it's very difficult. You cannot even imagine what happening with us. Like, we are in a society where, first of all, people very hardly accept us. Secondly, like our sexuality, no one talk about it. And if she is a girl, street harassment is secondary part. First of all, she is getting domestic violence and domestic harassment. Like, there are people with disability, women with disability. She is either, there is two points, whether we are not doing a proper research on women with disability and their sexual problem, or a person with disabilities and their sexual problems. I request all other big institutes such as Tata Institute of Technology, JNU, and others, a big name and research institute, please come up with the ideas, and please come up with the research paper in which we come with some kind of solutions, or we talk about disability and their sexual problems. And yes, women are facing a lot of problems. I cannot even express right now what kind of things they are going through. And even like street harassment, as I said, this is the secondary part. First, like, they are getting harassment at their home itself. Either it's street, like when we are like people with disability, they are mostly at home because of accessibility issues. And that too, girls, think about rural India. I'm not talking about the Mumbai, Delhi, and the metro cities. I'm talking about the rural Indias. More than 80% people are there in different rural areas. And especially girls with disabilities, sometimes they do have their own physical need. I do agree with this. They are not getting any solutions because of our ill mentality. Second part, like sometimes wantedly or unwantedly, people are taking advantage over them, sometimes by helping them, like because see, I'm not having any sensation and power below my chest. So if someone wants to hold me or help me, though I am qualified and I know the tricks how to manage myself, but this is not the same thing for everyone, and especially at rural villages area. So first of like, I wanted to say, Elsa, that if you can include few people with disabilities and few consultants, those who can give the idea how to handle women with disability or children with disabilities, that would be really great in next few sessions. And if your team can reach out to the local areas and remote areas, that would be really, really great, because I know when I go in national events, I got to know that so many people are coming. But
So Shams, I'm just going to come in here a bit because we do have a program for women who are specially abled, and we do a community work with rural India also with whatever capacity we have, and that's a part of our work for sure. So we'll definitely, keep that in mind. But if there's something you would like to say to, then we will because we have breakout rooms, and I know you have to go. So which is why I would like to say something about what do you think can we do to intervene as bystanders in street harassment?
thank you, Supreet, and I really congratulate your team for having such kind of initiatives. And yes, what I want to say is like, guys and people, those who are listening to it, please take a stand in whatever capacity. I know, like, you can, the example I gave you in the early of the session, that I cannot go and fight with anyone, but at least I can raise the voice, which may help to anyone and which may help to end this street harassment. So with this, I think I would like to end my talk. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Shams. Thank you for coming. And in case you need to leave, please feel free. But we would love to have you till the end, because I think a lot of people would want to speak to you in the breakout rooms as well. So
I'll be listening to you guys. Maybe I can off my.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thanks.
So Rajiv, the next question is for you. We were just talking about bystander intervention, and Sham said everyone needs to take a stand. So why do you think that we look at an incident happening in front of us like an audience watching something happening, which is where we are not involved and we are not a part of? And what can we do to change that?
I think there are a lot of things that comes under this question. Like Lochna shared a story in the beginning, and she talked about like how that one person told her ki go buy a private vehicle. So there's the fact. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Like there's the fact that there is so much victim blaming. There is no broad understanding of the structure that is responsible for sexual harassment, or the structure that gives rise to a space or power dynamics that can allow the act of harassment to take place. And also, like again, like people think like it's because of the clothes or it's a private matter, and the girl is inviting it, they're asking for it, so they should go do it themselves. And then along with this, there is also a very reductive approach to understand sexual harassment. Like even when it takes place on some street or when it's portrayed in media, the one line that come up is "Tere ghar mein maa behan nahi hai kya?" Like this is reductive because why do you need your mother or sister or any female acquaintance to go through to understand that? Like sexual harassment is about a violation of consent, physical space, and dignity of a person, and that is something that every individual has, and that is something which is even talked about in the constitution. So we need to let go of this perspective, and I'm not denying that women are not disproportionately more prone to sexual harassment, but we also need to understand that if we try to look at it from an individual's perspective, like how it is violating the personal space or how it is causing discomfort to an individual, and how it is making an individual uncomfortable, then it is also a good way to understand that. Secondly, I think, as we all know, like sexual harassment or street harassment is all about power. So when an act is taking place, the it is a perception like only a more powerful person can intervene. For instance, if there are a group of 5, 6 boys, then the perception is that only police can intervene, because in that situation, police might seem more powerful. But like as others have mentioned, like it is important to raise a voice, and like even in chats, people are talking about like how physical strength might not be the solution, but we need to take a stand. Like as the title of the seminar, "Bold is Beautiful." So we need to claim that space, because that public space belongs to all of us. If I am looking at someone who is not feeling safe in that public space, then that space equally belongs to me as well. And even I might not feel safe. And this is something which is very prevalent during the time of Holi, when people just go around, they are putting colors, they are throwing balloons, and there is no regard for consent or personal space. And so, like Dr. Vibhuti Patel talked about, what can we do? For instance, for traffic accidents, we have the Good Samaritan law. Like if you bring a traffic accident victim to a hospital, then hospital has to provide the treatment, and police cannot file a complaint against you. So we need to let go of the taboo around sexual harassment as well. Ki there's this thought ki jhanjat mein kyun padna hai, but it is not their problem, because it is taking in a space which belongs to you as well, and which can be a problem for you as well in the future. And you in the sense as an individual, as a person, not because you have a sister who might go through the same, or not because you have a mother who might go through the same. Second, regarding what can we do, so as I mentioned earlier, like
Sorry,
doc,
I'll just come in for a minute. We have now very less time, because I want you guys to really have this conversation with everyone in breakout room. So if you could concisely put your answer in a minute or so, please.
Yeah, sure. All right. So like there are three things. The first one is community engagement. Second one is bystander obligation. And the third one is code of conduct. Community engagement implies that the police is given training. Police talk to the shopkeepers and the people who know the area. And people use apps like the Safe City app so that they have an idea. And this is major focusing on the preventive aspect, like Harisha mentioned in the comment section. Like we don't need to do something when the act has already taken place. We need to prevent and prohibit it. Bystander obligation and code of conduct is about like how do we talk about it to our friends and peers, because we need to give a sense of consent, sense of boundaries, and sense of personal space, so that when we're in a public space, no one can get the idea that they can invade that space. And when someone is in a public space, they know that, okay, my friend talked to me about this, so I should not do this with the other person. So yeah, that is all that I would like to share here.
Thank you, Rajiv. And I'm sorry, I'm going to tell everyone to quickly keep their answers to 2 minutes. So we'll just have one more question and then we'll go into the breakout room. So my next question is to Rohit. Rohit, because we are talking about, what can we do to change this whole mentality of how we behave in the streets and public spaces, as people who are going out to access it, women, men, especially able people, as children, as old people, and as bystanders, and as probably also the perpetrators. क्या चीज है जो उनको इफेक्ट करती है? तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है आपसे रोहित कि हमारी जो सोसाइटी है ये बॉलीवुड से बहुत ज्यादा इम्पैक्टेड है, बहुत इन्फ्लुएंस होती है बॉलीवुड से. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज द इफेक्ट दैट बॉलीवुड हैज हैड ऑन हाउ पीपल बिहेव इन द स्ट्रीट्स, एंड व्हाट डू यू थिंक शुड द producers, the directors do consciously to change that? What would your message to them be? 2 minutes.
Yeah, so that is really reflecting a question, because whenever I see the Bollywood films, तो अगर आज के जमाने में देखें तो जैसे Sacred Games जैसी वेब सीरीज है जहाँ पे we talk about lot about religion and everything, but उसी क्षेत्र में the character like Gaitonde is so toxic and people are really accepting that guy if people watch Sacred Games. So अगर कोई मूवी है जो 10 चीजों के बारे में बात करी, इश्यूज के बारे में बात करी, और एक जो इश्यूज है जेंडर या फिर हरासमेंट या फिर वायलेंस की जो बात है उसको नेग्लेक्ट कर दे रही है, तो ये नहीं चलेगा. वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट दैट थिंग आल्सो. सो या तो मेनली यही बात है कि जहां पर भी हमको, जैसे पैडमैन की मूवी है, पैडमैन पे एक डायलॉग है जहां पे बोला जाता है कि मैं एक ऐसा मर्द हूं जो औरत की रक्षा नहीं कर पाया. So what that means, like you are making the movie on menstrual hygiene और आप वहां पे इस तरीके की बात कर रहे हो, तो ये आपको कहां पर ले जाता है? तो मेनली जो ये बात है कि पहली तो कि हमको जो मूवीज है उसको एक तरीके से समझना होगा कि हम एक मेल गेज से देख रहे हैं. वी आर नॉट वॉचिंग फ्रॉम अदर गेज. लाइक अगर मूवीज देखो तो मोस्ट ऑफ द डायरेक्टर आर मेल डायरेक्टर्स. So we should put हमें वुमेन या फिर जो अदर जेंडर के जो भी हमारे साथी है उनको ये आना पड़ेगा ये सिनेमा क्षेत्र में और आके मूवीज बनानी होगी. और साथ ही साथ हमको ये मेक श्योर करना पड़ेगा कि एक सभी को वहां पे भी एक इक्वल स्पेस दिया जाए. तो पार्टिसिपेशन बाकी जेंडर से लोगों का ही मुझे लगता है कि एक तरीके से मूवीज को देखने का नजरिया बदल सकता है। बिकॉज आप कोई भी गाने सुने फेविकॉल से, ये जो गाना है कि अभी वुमेन अपने बारे में ऐसी बातें नहीं करेगी कि मैं तंदूरी मुर्गी हूँ यार, कटकाले से या अल्कोहल से, फेविकॉल से। लाइक ये क्लियरली आपको दिखता है ये पूरा मेल गेज है। फ्रॉम पिकासो की पेंटिंग से लेके यहाँ तक सारा मेल गेज है। लाइक यू कैन सी दैट पीपल आर ऑब्जेक्टिफाइंग वुमेन एट एवरी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम। सो दैट वो सीधा इनके साथ भी होता है। जो भी ये जो बिकॉज ये जो आइडिया ऑफ फिल्म्स है वो काफी एस्केपिंग है। और जो अगर बॉलीवुड में 10 थप्पड़ जैसी मूवीज बनती है तो 1000 ऐसी मूवीज बनती है, कबीर सिंह जैसी मूवीज, जो लोग ज्यादा देखते हैं। बिकॉज पीपल वांट टू एस्केप, वो अपने लाइफ में और झंझट नहीं चाहते ऐसे सोशल मूवीज देखकर। तो वी हैव टू put the movies in that way also, like it makes people interest to come and watch them. Like Vicky Donor, I really like वहाँ पे like subverting the art of subverting, like played very well in Vicky Donor, like how comically it used and it opened the barriers. Like एक scene देखा रहेगा आपने जहाँ पे दादी माँ ऊपर बैठ के दारू पी रही है छत पर विकी डोनर के, तो what that implies, like that मतलब ऐसे मतलब वो अचानक से डाल दिया एंड इट मेक्स नॉर्मलाइज, लाइक ऐसा हो सकता है, दादियां बैठ के दारू पी सकती है ना, आप ऐसे। तो दिस आइडिया वी हैव टू यूज, जहां पे शॉर्ट पैकेट्स में वी कैन पुट दिस सीन्स वेयर पीपल आर ट्राइंग टू सबवर्ट समथिंग द नॉर्म्स आर गोइंग इन द सोसाइटी। या सो वी कैन डू दिस सम थिंग्स।
Thank you, Rohit. I think that's a great segue. Everyone, now we are going to go into the breakout rooms. Rohit, Lochna, Arpan and Rajiv ने बहुत interesting breakout room sessions prepare किए हैं. So please stay on. We'll come back and we can have a little bit of open conversation if time still permits. But you have 20 minutes in the breakout room. So I would request my team, Kajal, Jyoti, Anima, if you could now allocate the
Hello everyone. Audible? Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up or just anything.
Yeah, you'll just have to keep the
Hello.
mic steady near your mouth because your voice keeps wavering.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. So room in the bigger one, and I'm sure there might be many of you who want to share anything regarding it. Many of you are saying things in the chat box, so might be we can just start from that. Is there anything specific you want to share, or maybe there's some action point there in your head that you would like to share with all of us, which can help all of us to deal with this problem, or just tackle this issue in a better way? Is there anybody who would like to share how, in case if you witness anything like this, or you yourself experience sexual harassment, so how would you like to, in what way would you like to react? Any action points?
Hi,
Yeah.
Lochna. This is
Hello.
Pushpendra here. Hi, can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah.
Okay, so basically I'll tell you two things. One is something which I experienced firsthand recently about 2.5 months ago. While I was cycling in one of the belts of Gorai. If you're familiar with Mumbai, you will know where it is. So I was cycling around this side, and I was totally on the other side where this thing happened. So basically 2 girls were on Activa going along on their own, and there were 2 guys who were chasing them basically on bike, which was like a Pulsar little high voltage bike. And then they were probably abusing the guys because they were also doing something like in terms of teasing and stuff, and they were chasing like a race. I was on a cycle in a very high speed, and I was not able to stop at the point, because even if I would have stopped, they would have rushed. So at this moment, although I was not able to do anything, but throughout the journey, I was feeling so uncomfortable because there is a long stretch after that also. So what I would have done, I still regret the fact that I was not able to do anything along, because it's an isolated place overall. Although there is a police station just 1 kilometer from there, so I'm sure she must have got something. I'm hoping. But in this whole matter, what I realized afterwards, when I was a little less emotional about the whole thing, even though it was not directly towards me. Although I have 3 sisters, I have a lot of friends, and overall I am surrounded by women at work as well. So what I realized is if we can somehow, have things like I mentioned, crowdsource solutions, where people can actually write down some core solutions which can help. Because I know there are a lot of projects happening for years and years, but I don't see any concrete solutions where people are actually happily talking about it. Because I don't know whether people are not talking about the solutions as much because problems are more. I understand that as well. So the only idea what I was suggesting even in the chat box was if we can have more people involved and maybe we can crowdsource in terms of solutions that can help at the different levels. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Pushpendra. Definitely we can do this. And yeah, once again, thanks for sharing. Is there anybody else who would like to come up and share? You can even you can use the chat box as well while someone else is sharing.
भाई
Yeah. Hi
हाँ
Rizwan. Hi
हाय
Rizwan.
हाँ तो मैं सोच रहा था ना, मैं इतने सारे सेशन को पूरा सुना, मुझे लगता है मतलब ये सारी चीजों से इवन जैसे ऑगी ने बोला, मैं भी दोनों साइड में रहा हूँ, जहाँ मैंने हैरास भी किया है और फिर बाद में मतलब टीनेज में तो मुझे लगता है कि शायद अगर मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं दोनों साइड रहा हूँ, तो दोनों साइड में एक जगह शायद मैं ज्यादा सेंसिटिव नहीं था और एक जगह मैं बहुत ज्यादा सेंसिटिव था। तो जो सेंसिटिविटी है या फिर क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग, संवेदनशीलता, ठीक है, मेरे ख्याल से ये एक बहुत बड़ा चीज है समझने के लिए। जब हम चीजों को लेकर संवेदनशील होते हैं तब हम उनके बारे में सोचते हैं, ठीक है। तो एक तरह से ना जो सेंसिटिविटी है वो खत्म हो रही है धीरे धीरे, या फिर हम बहुत सारी चीजों के बारे में इनसेंसिटिव हो गए हैं, राइट। या फिर हम तभी सेंसिटिव होते हैं जब वो हमसे प्रैक्टिकली या फिर सही में रिलेट हो रही है। लाइक अगर कोई मेरी फ्रेंड को छेड़ रहा है या फिर मैं देख रहा हूँ और वो मेरी फ्रेंड है या गर्लफ्रेंड है या फिर एनी पर्सन दैट आई नो, तब मुझे वो चीज ज्यादा हिट करेगी एज कम्पेयर टू अगर मेरे जान पहचान की नहीं है तो थोड़ी कम हिट करेगी, और अगर मैं कर रहा हूँ तो मुझे बिल्कुल हिट नहीं करेगी, राइट। वहां पर फीलिंग के रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है। तो इमोशनल लेवल से हमें बहुत ज्यादा सोचना पड़ेगा, जो हरास कर रहा है और जो हरास हो रहा है दोनों का मेंटल स्टेट में क्या चल रहा है। अभी तक हम बात कर रहे हैं कि मेंटल स्टेट ऑफ अ पर्सन हु इज अ विक्टिम। अभी शायद ये भी सोचना चाहिए हमको कि क्या चल रहा है उस बंदे के दिमाग में, ऐसे इनसेंसिटिविटी कैसे बढ़ जाती है हमें।
Thanks for sharing, Rizwan. और मुझे भी आपकी okay, I'll continue in English. So whatever you shared, one thing I could understand through this. So to sum up whatever you share, I feel that there's a lack of empathy that we see amongst people. People are not able to empathize with the victim. They don't really know how it is to go through that trauma and whatever they have experienced. They can't really relate to it unless and until वो personally हम experience करते हैं या हमारे बहुत ही करीबी इंसान के साथ होता है. So आपकी बातें सुनने के बाद maybe I just felt we can have circles where we can sit down and have conversations with people, men particularly, where we can talk to them about the value of empathy and help them understand that how this value will help you understand people's emotion and relate with them. And maybe conversations like these can help us in the longer run. Yeah. Also
एग्री
yeah, thanks.
बहुत।
Great. So I would like to invite a girl from this breakout room who would like to share, because we would really like to listen to a women's perspective over here about this whole thing. Maybe you can share about if you had experienced this yourself, or any point if there's anything going on your head which you can share that, okay, this can be also one thing that we can do to eradicate this problem, or tackle this in a better way. Is there anybody? Okay, not specifying anybody, but anybody who would like to share can just come up and share. Yeah. Anyone?
I think if you're asking for women, there's only me and Anjali.
Yeah.
And great that there are so many men, because I've always struggled with this idea, how can we bring more men to these discussions? Because girls, I think now we've overemphasized education on this topic with young women and girls.
Yeah.
But really, it's the young men who need to be sensitized because, like Rizwan said, he's been on both sides. And I think it's when he had the awareness that he was able to move to the other side. So, you know, we don't have one of the things that my organization, Red Dot, is doing is apart from mapping sexual violence in spaces, we are and collecting the data and making it visible because most of these stories never see the light of day. So you actually have an invisible problem even if we know it's happening. The second bit is we conduct a lot of workshops in schools, colleges, communities, and corporates on safe spaces, safe college campuses, safe communities and neighborhoods where we first help them challenge this unconscious bias, harmful stereotypes, make them aware of the different forms of harassment because people think of it as eve teasing and then rape and murder. But they don't look at the various forms of it and are not aware of it. So they don't have a vocabulary for their experience. And then what is the various legislations? In India, we have all the legislations we need, but we don't know about it. And then the last bit is how does Safe City or the data on Safe City how can it help you to make your own neighborhood safer, get your community engaged? So to Pushpendra's point, one of the ways we can encourage people to crowdsource is you can crowdsource the experiences you have. And it can be for anyone. We don't specify it's only women. The second one is we now have added a safety tips. So if you've taken a particular action to a particular situation, list it there because that way at least we start building a repository. I agree with you because the same situation, 5 people may have different responses to. So we want to learn how other people, and some responses may have worked, some may have not worked. So really we need to start building this toolkit. It's a great idea, and maybe in another month or so, Harish, since you're here, we can organize another workshop where we can crowdsource on some common uh, experiences that people have had, because a lot of experiences may be in similar situations, but we can crowdsource all the various ways that one can respond to it and then create like a toolkit that people can use. So thank you for bringing that up.
And Elsa, one more thing I want to add is that, I heard a guy said women should learn defense and all those stuff, self-defense and all those. People have been talking, it's like a cliche now, although everybody knows about it. But I know a friend of mine in Delhi, she actually teaches a thing called Krav Maga. You must have heard of it. It's like an Israeli style of self-defense. She's a woman herself. She teaches in New Friends Colony, in Defense Colony rather. So in case if you want me to connect to her, I'll be able to pass on her details and maybe your team can probably contact her if you want. At least to start with something.
Great. That'll be great. But like I think Harish also said, and I'm also of the belief that just doing one session of the self-defense doesn't work. You have to keep at it all the time because, self-defense, Krav Maga, learning judo, karate is great for in a long-term perspective because it builds your mental and physical strength. And also the responses, right? But that's one aspect. The second aspect is also what we do, the data and information, because these kind of conversations, the more we talk about it, the more situationally aware we become, and then we respond quickly. We kind of know how to respond. I come from aviation and aviation safety, so I use a lot of what I used to teach in aviation in my current work. So there are multiple ways, but do connect me with your friend because that would be interesting. And I'm now going to shut up because I want to hear from other people. And we have only 12 minutes.
Maybe I can start. Okay, sorry. Pushpendra, you can go ahead. I can.
No, go on, please.
No, actually, I just wanted to say that I totally agree with all that Elsa said. It's important to just engage into more and more conversations like these, and then, I mean, I have heard a lot of people sharing about their experiences, and then when we asked, how did you react? They said, I couldn't react, I couldn't respond. I did not know what to do. So, what Elsa said really even helped me understand ki, okay, exactly, if we have more and more conversations of this kind, we are definitely going to be more aware of it, and we know when this situation happens in our life, we know what to do. Also, I feel like how Rajiv shared in the bigger room, that it's important to claim your space, in the public places, public transports, everywhere. And I feel I remember having conversations with my female friends, and I asked them, Ki, why are you so scared of it? You should, if something like that happens to you, you should just scream or yell at that person. Let everybody know that this is the person that did it. But it's not very easy for every girl to do that, because the way they have been brought up, or the way their upbringing has been. So, but I would really like to be there for them whenever I can, in whatever capacity. And I just want to say this thing, that I want to continue claiming my space in public places and help other girls to gather that courage, and help them claim their space in public places. This is what I would like to say. Also, like someone said in the chat box, right, self defense and everything is just like a band-aid. You're not still getting to the root of this problem. You have to talk to more men and boys to actually understand where it is coming from. We have seen boys and men with this sense of entitlement every time, and they do not realize that what they're doing is wrong. So having conversations with men is very important, and if these conversations are led by a man or a boy, it is even more nice, because then I just feel, if like we have panelists like Rohit or Rajiv or Arpan, if we have a conversation led by a boy around this topic, they can even more freely talk about this thing. They can share why all of this happen, what makes them act in a certain way, and we can definitely come up with really amazing solutions to this. Yeah, this is what I think right now. Yeah.
I think you said certain things when when you said, if something is happening, some women or some girls are a little skeptical to talk about it or even to scream. See, there is something called a shock effect that happens, when something is suddenly happening, your mind freezes and you go in hermit mode. Either you will scream and shout and things like that, which is your probably a defense mechanism somewhere, or whether you just go completely silent. As a psychologist, this is what I have understood from the experiences that I've had with a lot of people while having counseling sessions with them as well. Second thing that you mentioned about second thing which I observed personally was during last year, during lockdown, we did around 1,000 hours of free counseling because, I realized it was like a need of the hour. And I did around 739 sessions in September itself. One thing I found out was sexual harassment was picking up. Like you must have read it in the reports as well, in a lot of research if you have studied anywhere. So I think this is also somewhere which is a lot of suppressed feeling within the house premises. And the guy who's abusing the family members, that is also a lot of people are not able to put across, because they'll feel like family member hai, how the world will take and everything. So a lot of people go through things, but they are not able to channelize their suppressed feelings somewhere, which is also very damaging for their well-being overall.
हेलो। अभी जो पुष्पेंद्र ने कहा वो बिल्कुल मतलब सही बात है, जैसा और इससे पहले एल्सा ने भी जो लिखा है कि या तो इंसान फाइट करता है, फ्ली करता है, फ्रीज कर जाता है। लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि जितना ज़्यादा हम बात करेंगे उतना ज़्यादा लोगों को समझ में आएगा, क्योंकि ऐसा होता है कि हम बहुत सारी सिचुएशन में कुछ समझ नहीं पाते, लेकिन अगर उसके बारे में हम पहले से गाइड रहेंगे कि यार ऐसा होगा और शायद तू फ्रीज हो जाएगा, ठीक है, लेकिन अगर उस वक्त तू थोड़ा हिम्मत करके कुछ कर सकता है तो करना, तो शायद वो ज़्यादा कॉन्शियस रहेगा वो इंसान कि हाँ मैं इससे बारे में पहले बात कर चुका हूँ और शायद ये मेरे रिस्पॉन्सेज हो सकते हैं, लेकिन मेरा बेटर रिस्पॉन्स क्या होना चाहिए, या फिर एटलीस्ट मैं हेल्प कैसे, मतलब to even ask for help is a very great thing in that situation. राइट, क्योंकि बहुत जैसा बोला कि फ्रीज हो जाते हैं, तो मेरे ख्याल से जितना ज्यादा बात होगी उतना ज्यादा समझ में आएगा। और मुझे एल्सा से बोलना था कि जिस तरह से आप लोगों ने जो जैसा बोलता है कि इंसिडेंट्स जमा कर रहे हैं एंड सेफ्टी टिप जमा कर रहे हैं, वो बहुत ज्यादा बेटर है, मतलब बहुत अच्छा है, क्योंकि इससे बहुत लोगों को बहुत कुछ समझेगा, बहुत सारी हेल्प मिलेगी। क्योंकि और ये दोनों चीज ऐसी है जिसका बहुत ज्यादा से ज्यादा अवेयरनेस होना चाहिए, हमें लगता है ना, मुझे लगता है। थैंक यू।
Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Rizwan. And even we can see that Anjali has shared in the chat box. We can just quickly read. And thanks for sharing. Thanks for your suggestion, Anjali. Maybe people who haven't spoke yet, like Pratik or Tanvi or Benedict, if you would like to say something, we would really love to hear from you guys. If you have any suggestions or you just simply agree to whatever is being discussed till now in this breakout room, you can just switch on your mic and just speak a little about what you're feeling. In fact, you can just share about what you're feeling about the conversation that happened in the bigger room, or what you're feeling about whatever you heard right now in the breakout room. Anything. You can make use of the chat box, or you can turn on your mic and speak. Yeah. Anybody? Is there anyone else who would like to speak? It's like we can use this time to discuss more.
I want to give an example to what Anjali said. So, talking about it and also discussing responses, like Pushpendra said, like, how do you respond 101 in various situations? Whilst we can't always say, okay, in this situation, this is the right response, you'll have to make a lot of judgments on the spot. What's happening around you, day or night, are there bystanders around, etc. You may also be taken by surprise. So I'll give you an example of one of our volunteers. She'd been working on these workshops with us and all that, and then she got harassed on her college campus. She wrote me an email to say, Elsa, I froze, but I responded in 9 seconds because my training kicked in, and I was able to grab the guy, report him, and make a complaint. She says I froze, but I then quickly knew what to do. I'll give you a second example. After starting Safe City and doing this work, I was having a business meeting at the coffee shop in the Taj, Land's End. It's a 5-star coffee shop. And my business partner and I, we are sitting face to face and talking. And suddenly one guy comes, wishes him good evening, shakes his hand, then turns to me and abuses me verbally. And I was like, I don't even know this man. And our conversation was interrupted. So I didn't respond. And by the time I, said, what the hell, he had left. And then this guy and I, we were both frozen. And then we laughed and he said, you need to pin him on your map. And then we were discussing it. We called the waiters, asked him who this man was. But we froze. Okay. So after doing this work, we still froze. And on the way back home, I was thinking about it. I was driving and then I said, no, I have to do something. So I called up the Taj, got them to check the CCTV footage. We got them to check who the patron was through his credit card statement, his bill. And they wrote to him and, confronted him. And he turns out to be a lawyer. Now, also, I happened to be traveling for the next 15 days. So I chose not to make a police complaint. But Taj got him to apologize. And they called me in for a meeting when I was back. They explained all the new protocols that they put in place and how they were going to monitor this man from there on. So I think we need to challenge this behavior and also make other people around aware that we are not okay with this kind of behavior. So if you freeze, it's okay to freeze because it's a very natural response. But what you do after that is also important.
I think you shared a very good experience here because it reminds me that when a person is isolated, for example, if it happened to me, okay, which I've been bashing people since I've three sisters for years, so it's nothing new for me. At least those whom I can reach out and I can, give a very physical response when needed. But when it comes to larger people, you can't make a scene everywhere, right? Like I've grown up now, so I don't do those things anymore. But I realize when you're alone and you want to call out someone, you can't necessarily do it right then. But yes, like you said, if you have more people, if you have a group of at least 2 to 3 people, you can actually go somewhere, maybe in a day or two. But still, it really helps if you have people. But if you do not have anyone who can support you along with it, that doesn't mean you don't have to go. So either ways, reporting is necessary, I guess.
Thank you, Elsa and Pushpendra. This also reminds me about that one episode from this web series called Sex Education. I don't know how many of you have watched this series, but what happens in this series, there's this one plot where they have, so there's this friend of the main lead, and she experiences sexual harassment in the bus, and she thinks that, okay, it's fine, it's done, the damage is done. What's the point of but then the lead, the actress who is the lead, she sits down with her friend and has a conversation ki, okay, relax, why are you taking it like it's a casual thing, you should report it. So when like while Elsa and Pushpendra were talking about it, just crossed my mind. I'm like, it's important to help others understand that let's not take it casually anymore. First of all, let's not call it eve teasing or just stalking. Let's call it sexual harassment. It starts from there, and report it. Okay. Like how Elsa did it, she approached the authorities and she took little steps, and finally that person had to, they confronted the person, and they asked them to get an apology. It's important to report it. Only then, it's like taking steps to address it, and understand and realize the magnitude of this issue. This is happening to, I think, every third woman or girl in the city, wherever it is. We're not even discussing about the rural areas yet. This is happening. It is still happening in cities where we have so many resources. We haven't even spoke about the rural area where there are no transport. And if I'm walking down a street in a rural area, and if there comes a man and who's just trying to harm me in some other way, I don't know what to do. So it's important to continue having conversations and help them in whatever capacity we can. Yeah, it was a great conversation with all of you, and we will move in the main room in few seconds. So see you all there. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I was speaking while I was muted. So welcome everyone. Welcome back. I think everyone's back now from the breakout rooms. I don't know why मुझे हमेशा लगता है breakout rooms हमेशा थोड़े से कम रहते हैं. मतलब थोड़ा सा और time मिल जाता है and we could have थोड़ा सा और discuss हो जाता है, right? I don't know about the rest of you, but Rohit was leading the session in the breakout room I was in, and it was an experience of traveling in a bus. I think most of us were transformed into this passenger in a bus on a bus stop. So it was very beautiful. So why don't we, I know that we are slightly over time, but quickly from all the rooms, would anyone like to just come and share what went on in the conversation in their rooms? आपके rooms में क्या conversation हुआ? 1 minute, only 1 minute. So
Can I go first?
Yes, go ahead,
Okay.
Arpan.
So but I talked with one of the participants, Rupa, and another one was Ebner. So Ebner gave us some really good insights on how to build our mental strength so that we are able to, in case we are in such a situation of street harassment, either as a bystander or the victims ourselves, then how we can, cope up with that thing. And there we also kind of both came at an agreement that in a way both men and women are conditioned and are taught certain things. There are ways in which women should develop that level of confidence to actually speak up when it is need. And there is also an element that, men should make it an equal play field for the women. So we kind of had that agreement in us also. And Rupa pointed out a very important thing, that is the element of shame which is associated with, speaking up, because she will in a way feel embarrassed if, she voices up that thing. So that is very much there. So we were just talking about, how to actually mitigate these problems, so that, street harassment and everything. The more on the preventive aspect of it, more how to build a more equal society, so that, such incidents are really less, or even if such incidents takes place, how we can, are mentally prepared to actually face such a situation. So we talked about that thing, and it was really insightful. Actually, Abner gave some really good insights on, the psychological aspect of it, what goes on in the mind of the.
So put it in the chat box, because I'm going to keep on. Otherwise, I don't want to lose the group. I want everyone to hear to every room what happens. So Arpan, that's really, really insightful. I can understand how exciting it must be. You want to share more, but let's move to Lochna. Lochna, would you like to share what happened in your room?
Actually, I was just thinking if Pushpendra from our breakout room can share. I mean, if
Sure.
it's fine with it. Yeah.
Pushpendra, can you unmute yourself and share, please?
Hi. So actually, I did share a mix of a lot of things. So there is no one particular thing, but I suggested a couple of things as a solution. Like, for example, if we can all have a kind of a brainstorming session within our friends, men, women, whatever gender, and we can find out some solutions like, crowdsourcing in terms of what can be done. I mean, at least 100 solution might help. That is one of the suggestions which I give. I shared one of the instances that happened in front of me while I was riding my bicycle, and two guys were chasing women. And there was the whole incident. I fast forward, like I know I have a brief time, so I'll just go it in a gist I'll give you. And apart from this, how our mind freezes when something very shocking happens to us, and therefore we have very limited way of giving our reactions and how to deal with it. I also suggested one of the fighting techniques called Krav Maga, which is Israeli style of fighting. And I have a friend in Delhi who's a woman as well. She teaches this, and I'll pass on the contacts to Elsa and see if something can be done, like a virtual training for women, others as well.
Great.
I'll just fast forward. I am talking fast because I have a time constraint, like you mentioned.
Thank you so much, Pushpendra. That was the fastest and the most insightful look into what you guys probably discussed in the room. So thank you so much for that. Rajiv?
Yeah, all right. So we discussed the idea of like the protectionism that law provides, and why instead of safety we need to look at women's freedom. And second, we had an interesting activity where we created a word cloud where everyone put in their thoughts regarding what they have heard during sexual harassment and what they have heard when they responded to the when they reported sexual harassment. And the responses talked about how normalized it is, how we just let it go. And then we had a brief discussion regarding the role of parents, the role of media, and especially how Bollywood impacts our psyche regarding how we perceive the street space. And like as Rohit mentioned regarding the song and how it has been carried forward by different Bollywood movies. So yeah, that was all.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you. I'm loving it. You guys are so prompt. 1 minute exactly. Rohit.
5 seconds gone. So basically मतलब मेरा आइडिया ये था कि हम जो भी हमारे अंदर का जो भी ऑपरेशन है, जिसको हमने कभी ना कभी फेस किया, उसको एक तरीके से शरीर में से बाहर वोकलाइज कैसे किया जाए. लेकिन हमको पता है हमारे साथ कहीं ना कहीं बहुत बार हुआ है, लेकिन वी डोंट नो कि वो फ्रस्ट्रेशन हमको कहाँ से आ रही है हमारे आम जिंदगी में. तो इस तरीके के छोटे छोटे एक्सरसाइज होते हैं जहाँ पे वो हमको समझने में हेल्प करता है. और मैं बहुत ही मतलब शुक्रगुजार हूँ जो भी लोगों ने अटेंड किया उनका, बिकॉज उन्होंने बहुत काइंडली और पेशेंटली बहुत ही आराम से पूरा एक्सरसाइज को होने दिया. और मुझे बहुत जान के खुशी हुई है कि उन्होंने उससे भी ज्यादा जो मैं कह रहा था उससे भी कहीं ज्यादा जो चीज है उनके पर्सनल लाइफ के एक्सपीरियंस में गए और वहां पे उन्होंने झांक के देखा. जो कि मैं एक पॉइंट पे चाहता था कि पीपल गो इनसाइड देयर, एंड आई डोंट नो कि कितना होगा, बट रियली इट फील्स मी वेरी गुड कि जब मतलब उनके एक्सपीरियंस में गुड नहीं, मतलब गुड की एक्सरसाइज हैज वर्कड एंड दे रियलाइज अबाउट देमसेल्फ एंड दैट हेल्पिंग देम टू कनेक्ट whatever I am telling, and connecting to themselves is really important rather than me talking much. So this kind of things, like I'm think like more than words, can we do something about from our body also? Yeah, this is only a, thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you so much. So I know we have completely run out of time. We would love to have more conversations, but I think we are going to close with a poem now. रोहित एक पोएम पढ़ेंगे अभी. रोहित आप अपनी भाषा में पढ़िए जिसमें वो लिखी गई है. I think everyone understands Hindi here, and if not, that you can probably, one of you can put the English translation in the chat box for everyone to read. But go ahead and recite your poem, and in the meanwhile, I would request everyone to take this final poll while the poetry is being recited, or let the poem be recited, and then you come and please take the poll, and then we'll say a final goodbye after that. Go ahead, Rohit, over to you.
तो पोएम का नाम है मुझे डर लगता है. ये अल्तमश द्वारा लिखी गई है, जो मावा में एक प्रोग्राम कोऑर्डिनेटर और मावा का पार्ट भी है बहुत समय से. सो मैं इसे पढ़ता हूँ. मुझे डर लगता है. मुझे देखे जाने से नहीं, घूरे जाने से डर लगता है. मुझे पीछे चलने वालों से नहीं, पीछा करने वालों से डर लगता है. मुझे उन मीठी बातों से नहीं, उन भद्दी टिप्पणियों से डर लगता है. मत पूजो मुझको मंदिरों में, मुझे तो बस उड़ने दो आसमां में उन परिंदों में. मुझे तुम्हारी आदतों से नहीं, उन अश्लील हरकतों से डर लगता है. मुझे सड़कों पर सबके साथ चलने से नहीं, उस साथ में भी अकेलेपन के एहसास से डर लगता है. मुझे उन रातों के अंधेरों से नहीं, उन अंधेरों में खड़े हुए दरिंदों से डर लगता है. मुझे पुरुषों से नहीं, उनकी शक्ल में छुपे हुए उन हैवानों से डर लगता है. मुझे तो बस डर लगता है कि कोई ऐसा दिन ना आए जब मैं ये बोलूं कि अब तो मुझे जानवरों से नहीं, इंसानों से डर लगता है. मुझे डर लगता है. थैंक यू सो मच. और ये छोटा सा था कि इट इज द पोएम इज मतलब needless to say, women are fighting for their rights, negotiating their access to public space, and are not scared to access their public space. But as said, they might be insecure, which the poem try to highlight by looking at the section which needs to be termed as sexual harassment. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. That was really powerful and very simply put. Everyone, you can, if you didn't understand Hindi, it's also translated in English in the chat box. And Pushpendra is saying, thank you, Rohit, very disturbing yet powerful. I think we all have our views about how that sounded to us. Some of us were probably transported back to the roads where we travel in the nights or travel in a whole, bheed, लोगों की भीड़ में जब हम travel करते हैं, trains में travel करते हैं. So I think we all felt that poem. Thank you, Altmaj. You were in the group, but I didn't know that you're not going to recite this. Rohit's going to recite this. So thank you for the poem. It's very, very beautifully written and it's very powerful. So thank you for that. And with that, we are going to close the session formally. But if some of you want to just stay back and have a chat with the speakers, we'll be around for another 5 minutes. You can unmute yourself and let go of open your videos and straight away ask questions or put up your points if you have. Otherwise, we are closing formally for the evening. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mava. Thank you, Harish. This has been brilliant. Thank you, all of you, Arpan, Rohit, Lochna, Rajiv, Shams. You guys are lovely. And I think both me and Elsa feel like this country is in great hands with you, with the youth, which is like you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Harish, would you like to unmute yourself and maybe say something? All of you, you can put on your videos and you can now talk to the speakers. It's a free-for-all for 5 minutes.
I just want to say that please join us for the very last session of Anti-Street Harassment Week on Twitter today at 9 p.m. I'm putting the details in the chat. It is with Chinky Homo, which is a group that works with transgender and LGBTQI folks in the Northeast specifically. So they've taken two stereotypes that are harmful and put it together. They are leading the conversation, and we would love for you to respond. We use Twitter as a medium also to spark conversation. So we invite groups to take over our handle. If you want to take over our handle and talk about sexual harassment or gender sensitivity or equality from your point of view, please write me a note. I've put my email in the chat section as well. And the poll is on. We have 80% who've taken the poll. So please, it would really help us improve our events. Over to you, Harish. Please say a few words.
Harish, unmute yourself. You're mute. You muted.
Hi. So it was really wonderful to see Supreet so effortlessly channelizing, moderating the session, with this bunch of youth. And I think it was really stimulating, encouraging them to speak their minds. And, you saw a lot of interesting ideas, suggestions, constructive thoughts, put up. So it's a wonderful platform, a safe space where, people could express. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Harish. You guys are doing such wonderful job, such a beautiful and a wonderful job. It's very powerful, and we can see the work through each of these ambassadors of MAVA, I think, who have brought in so much of power and insight into this session. So thank you, each one of you. I think, Elsa, would you like to say something?
I just wanted to say, can we take a screenshot of the group so that we can post on social media?
Are you all okay with that?
Videos, that would be great. And give a thumbs up. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Cool. So thank you, everyone. And if you want to share anything, raise your hand, give us an indication, join us this evening. Abner, do you want to say something, even if you don't want to open your video?
No, just camera shy here.
Okay, but your thoughts were very insightful. So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. And with that, I think we are going to now say bid farewell for the evening. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. And if you guys pledge to do something as a bystander, as a responsible citizen who's going to help in ending violence, street harassment, please go ahead and do it, but stay safe. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elsa and all.
Thanks, Arthur. It was wonderful, guys.